Hi everyone, I'm Susan and I enjoy teaching people to do the crafting that I love doing myself. I have a few ladies that come to my lessons and thanks to them I have been exploring and doing things that they ask me or need me to show them how to do, and I've said I will do this recording to show everyone how to stamp, and then you scan it and then you cut it. However, I'm not doing one. I'm going to scan only once, but I'm going to do several. And I'm going to show you my technique. For this example, or for this video, if you want to follow, this is what you're going to need. I'm going to turn the camera on and I'm going to show you what you're going to need. So, we are going to require a platform, a stamping platform. I've got the Tim Holtz, I think it is, Tonic Tim Holtz one, and I love it, so I'm going to use that one. It has, for those that have it and maybe not found it useful or didn't know how to use it, it's got two words on either side. One says clear, and the other one, when you turn it, it says rubber. So I'm using clear stamps, so I'm going to use it on clear. You put it in, and that's how I'm going to use it. The next thing you're going to need is some stamps. Now I have these. I'm not affiliated with anyone, so I'm not doing this video to tell you go and buy anything. Use what you have. I had these. These are rare earth. They're lovely stamps, and to be honest, haven't used them much until I started using them in this way. And now I just can't stop. It's really addictive. So these are the other stamps that I'm going to be using. And I already took one out saying stay focused. It's new. I haven't yet used it, so I don't know how it will turn out. But I'm going to try that one. Then I'm going to use some scraps. So if you get a box of scraps, which we all have, everyone has scraps, and we always keep saying, you know what, I'm going to use these scraps one day, but we always leave them there. So with this technique that I'm going to show you today, if you have a box of scraps like that, just bring it out and you can use it. So we need some scraps, we need some ink. I'm going to be using StazOn, but you can use any ink you have. It doesn't even have to be black, any ink you have. And we need some white card, any white card, white paper, just a piece of white paper. I'm also going to use a platform from my embossing machine, a cut and emboss machine. Any make will do, any size will do, and I'm going to use that. So at the moment people were thinking, what's she going to use that for? I will show you when we are doing that. Now, bit of masking tape or washi tape or dots will be useful, and then you need, of course, your scan and cut. So that is what we need. I'll see you in the next part. Right, welcome to the next part of my process. So I'm going to start off with using my Tim Holtz. I'm going to take a piece of white card and I'm going to place it right in the bottom left corner. That is important. I'm going to stick my magnet on. And with my marker, I always mark the bottom left corner. The reason for that is this is going to remain my template. So if next week I want to use the stamp again, I won't even have to do this process. I'll use this template. So what I'm going to do, because of that, I'll always mark which one was my corner, because by next week I might forget. I might have put the stamp the other way around. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to place my stamp where I need it. I gave it some color so you can see it. I'm going to put my stamp, excuse me, put my stamp where I need it. I'm going to close with my brayer. I'm going to go over it and I'm going to lift. Make sure that stays down like that and stays in the corner like so. Okay. Now that I've done that, I'm going to ink. Now the next thing is make sure that all your pieces that you're going to use, the colored pieces, are going to be wider than the white one. If they're narrower, you need to make sure that it's going to fit on them too. So I'm going to put ink on my stamp, and then I'm going to drop my lid, and I'm going to go with my brayer. So I like to do it that way. And when I come up, I've got a really, really nice sharp image. So I'm quite happy with that one. I'm now going to bring in a colored piece of card. I like to do about 3-4 of these, and then I'll put them in a pocket ready to use whenever I need. So here goes. I'm gonna do another one, drop, and I do them all in the same way, same place, and you'll see why. Remember to mark that little corner dot. That's a very important tip, and you'll see why when we come to do the next steps. And I want some red one. So again, ink it. And we just put in there. And I'm gonna do my last one. Find another piece. Let's do another white one. But this is on Centura Pearl. I don't know whether you can see it shiny. It's a really nice card by Crafter's Companion. And it was a bit that was left from a project I did. And I don't throw these scraps away because I think that's a nice piece of paper. One day I'll use it. Now I found the right use for all these bits of scraps. So I was right to hoard them. I got loads of boxes of them. So I'm going to go there. And there goes. It's beautiful. So it's done its job. So I'm ready with the platform. I'm ready with the die. So the next thing I like to do is make sure I quickly use a wet wipe and clean my platform and die. If needs be, I'll put some cleaner as well. I just go like so. These are non-alcoholic. Just clean it up quickly and I'll just leave it there to dry. I don't need it for now, but later I'll show you how you can reuse it. It's not a problem whatsoever. I'll clean this properly later. So that's been done. So that's the next part. Now I have, and I can remember the corner places were here because you see they all have it on the bottom left corner looking like so. And I've got my 3 stamps that I'm gonna end up with. And I've got my one that's gonna be my template. So that is the next part. I will see you in the next step. Now, in this step, I'm going to show you what you need to do before you start even thinking about going anywhere near your Scan and Cut. If you look at this stamp, I have 3 things that Scan and Cut will pick up and cut. The first one, I'll try to show you a bit better. The first one is the stay, which is in a box. Then we've got the F, which is on its own. And then we got the OCU on its own and the SED on its own. Now, if I try to cut that, it's gonna cut it like that, in 4 pieces. Now, many people use a pencil. They'll put the pencil, and then after they cut the layer, excuse me, they'll cut the layer, and then afterwards they rub the pencil off, and they've got the stamp ready. And then they do another one, and again they use a pencil, and they keep going. I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna use the one I did on a piece of white card that I don't really want to keep as a stamped image, and I'm gonna use it as my template, I said. So what I do is this. I take the F, and I'm gonna link it somewhere to my box there. I think I'll link it there, like that. Right? And I'm gonna take the D, and from the other side, I'm gonna link it to there. So you decide where you want to link it. If you do it on the outside, it's gonna go round the outside. If you do it on the inside of to the bottom of your stay, it will come round in there, and it will come round and cut round the D, right? So that's the first bit. Stay, I'm going to make sure I've got the black in all of it, because I don't want it to pick up any letters or anything like that. So I've colored it. Then I want the F and the O to be linked from somewhere, let's say down here. Just something like that. So I'm not cutting with the line. I'm gonna cut an offset to that line, so it's not gonna make the N to the S, and now they're all linked. So now it will go round it and cut it accordingly. Now I also found that some stamps, not all of them, most of them, you do that and it's done, and the machine is happy to pick it up. However, I found some that when you do it, it tries to pick up the bit in the inside, it tries to pick up some things. So what I do is that with a ticker pen, I just go round that bit there, maybe fill in this bit. I've been using them so much. I need to get my daughter, she's listening, to buy me some more Sharpie pens, black. So I'm gonna do that so that it helps. As long as I'm doing it on the inside, it doesn't matter. So don't touch the outside of the line. But as long as you're doing it on the inside of that line, it's not gonna matter. The machine will pick it easier. So I'm gonna just do that. Now some experts might not agree with how I do it, and we'll find out when they see what I do whether anybody will start saying the same as me. So there you go. And that's how I did it. That is now ready to be scanned. So I'm going to stop here and continue on the next part of my video to show you how we're gonna now deal with scanning that. Right everyone, I've just started recording the next step, and after I cut, and you can see them here, how lovely they turned out. Let me show you. I then realized, goodness me, I was not recording. So I quickly stamped a few more. So again, I can now start the next step for you. I sometimes do that, I get overexcited about the next step. So I've got a few to do, and that's why the colors change, because I started cutting when I shouldn't. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in my mat. I've just switched my machine on, and I'm going to bring in my cutting board. Okay, Now, remember that dot I told you to put before, well, or while you're stamping? And the reason I did that is, if I don't use that dot, I'm going to use it in a very useful way, because I either put, when I started, let's start from the beginning. When I started doing this, I started placing it 1 inch down, 1 inch in, over there. And then I realized that if I keep cutting on the same mat, always 1 inch down, 1 inch in, it's going to ruin my mat and nothing's going to happen there. Okay? So, what I've decided to do, either use a piece of masking tape, pick up a corner and mark it so you know which corner you're using. Or, if you have any like mini dots or anything like that, you could also use one of them. So what we need to do, I'm going to use some masking tape for this. Doesn't matter what you use, that's what I'm trying to explain. Sometimes I use dots. Look, I got a dot here. You see the green dot? I've used that green dot somewhere. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of masking tape along one of the dotted lines. Just a marker for me. And then I'm going to take another piece and I'm finding another corner, so along the lines, and I'm going to place it down there. So now I know that my corner, that's going to replace the Tim Holtz corner. So when I put that there and there, and I go down straight with my line, so try to keep it as straight as you can. You're going to do, I need the white one first. So where is my white one? It's here. You always start with the one I drew on. You know, I had to draw. So I place it there. And I'm going to go through. So I'm going to start from beginning. I've got my machine on the pattern. I'm going to put my mat in. And I'm going to go to scan. And on scan, I'm going to select the direct scan, my machine, because this is where it temporarily stores it. And I'm going to go on black and white. And I'm going to say scan. Now once that is scanned, and it's going to come up on my screen, I'm going to say OK. And then with my arrows, I don't think you can see it there, I'm going to move my arrows towards my stamp to cut out all the little bits that the mat would have picked up. So I did it that way. Now I'm going to go on this button that says offset. And on offset, I'm going to put it 0.08. So once, twice. I think that's a nice size. I'm going to say OK. And OK. And I'm going to say cut. Now, let me see what my blade is at, because I was cutting some thicker one earlier. I'm going to do it the size my machine takes, and I'm going to go OK, cut. I'm going to lift my paper, and I'm not going to tear it. Don't get the mat out. Whatever you do, leave the mat in. I'm going to lift that, and I'm going to lift my stencil, or my stamp, which is my stencil stamp. Why stencil? Because these I'm going to keep, and next week if I want to cut it again, I will cut it from this pattern. Okay? So I won't have to, sorry, I just dropped it. I won't have to go and do it all over again. So I'm going to put that to the side. Now, this is where the next step goes. I'm going to take a colored one. I'm going to place it exactly in the same place where I had my other one. The plate I asked you to use from one of your machines is to put underneath for a minute. And while you hold it underneath, I've got it on a Lazy Susan, so it's a little bit difficult. You just press down to stick your page on there, on your mat. But if you worry about it actually coming off, just take a piece of tape, just go there, stick it there, to make sure it won't move. So you can put a piece in the corner and hopefully that will keep it. So you can do that as well if you're worried about it moving. I'm going to say okay now, and I'm not going to scan again. All I need to do, let's see if I can show you, I just say cut, and I just say cut. I don't know whether my blade is down enough. If it doesn't cut it, I'll pass it again because it will be exactly the same cut. Let's see whether it cut it at 5. I think it's a little bit too thick for cutting it. Let me have a look. Yes, I need to pass it again only because I didn't change my blade. When I'm recording, I'm talking and I don't think as much as when I'm working and enjoying just cutting. So I say okay, I say cut, and I'll just cut it again, and it will just cut over it. It's not been moved, nothing happened, so it will cut exactly on the same place. And there you go. So now that comes off. It is going to be cut, it's cut, so I can just take this off. There you go. And I've got a lovely stamp ready to use when I need it. I'm going to do a platform, a mat for it. So let's do the next one. Look at that. How nice is that? So I'm going to do the next one. So I don't have to scan or do anything again for my next two. I'm going to just take it, put it in the same place, like so. And again, put a little bit of my tape to hold it down. 1. You can use the same bit. 2. That places it there. Now, I'm still going to use my platform and my brayer to make sure it stays linked there. This is thick, it's on the right thickness. All I'm doing is okay, cut, cut. That's why I do 4 or 5 of them when I do it, because they are going to be cut in the same way. And there you go, I've got it done, up, and I've got another one finished. So I've got one more to do, and then I'll show you how to do the mat. So the mat, until you finish doing all your mats and everything, don't get that mat out of the machine. That's very important. So I'm going to do my last one. I'm going to place it there, and there. I can put a piece of tape because I've been using this mat so much now, I think I need to re-tack it. So I could do that to be on the safe side. And all I'm going to do is just do this. Excuse me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Like that. And I'm going to do okay, cut and cut. It's as easy as that. Once you do one, you can keep going. So if you're doing invitations and you have wedding invitations stamped, you don't have to scan 100 times because you're doing 100. You do it once, and then you can do the rest by just, okay, cut, done. So I'm now ready. They're all done, but I don't take the mat out yet. The reason I don't take the mat out yet is because I'm going to do the mat and layering. There you go. I'll show you it. Perfect. Love it. They're really, really nice. So let's see how we're going to do this. So now I'm going to take some gold pieces. Now I need to be careful that they are big enough to go, because remember we put them a little bit away from our, I've got long strips, so let's find some long strips of gold papers, and I'm gonna just put it there. I don't need to worry about it, just place it there, and again make sure it sticks to the mat. And you don't even have to go straight. I'm gonna go a little bit to the left because I did my stamp so close to the corner. So I'm gonna place it there, and hopefully that's gonna be okay when I do it. So I've moved it a little bit to the left, and I'm gonna do it slightly bigger. So what I do is this: I go to OK, I go to back, and I go back into my what do you call it, my offset, and I'm gonna do the offset from 8 to 12, or maybe even 16. Let's see. Okay, now 16 looks like it's still on the paper. I'm gonna do it on 16. Let's see. It's only a piece of paper that goes wrong, and I'm gonna cut it. But before I cut, I better place a bit of tape to hold this in place, because they do move sometimes when your mat has been used so much like mine, and you don't really want to ruin it. So if I put a bit of tape there, doesn't matter if it cuts over the tape, you can always take it off. So I'm going to say cut, and hopefully it will cut what I need where I need it. And there you go, I've got the cut ready. And if you now put the focus on it, so that's the cut I just did, put my focus on it, and I got a perfect focus mat. I'll do another one. Now if I really thought about it, I should have put the stamp a little bit closer to that corner and the way up that way. So what will happen is I won't waste a lot of my, I can't turn it around because probably it won't. I'll just check whether it would fit if I turned it around. Might be able to cut it from there. So let's do this one. Let me try it for you. And I'll show you how I would try to do it. Remember, when we cut it, it got cut from there. It's not going to cut over. It's going to cut over. So that's not going to work. But what I can do, just to show you tips and tricks, if I move it down a little and make sure it's all in, and move it a little bit to this side, I can place it there, you can see, and I can still cut another one from it. So those of you that worry about doing that, just bring in another piece of scrap. Remember, we're using scraps. But that, for those that are confident in moving things around, I just moved it to where I wanted it, there. And I'm going to say cut. I mean, nothing's going to happen. If I see it's not cutting where I want it, I just stop my cut. So that's not a problem. I'm going to cut another one. Okay. Cut, because it's already set. Okay. There you go. It's cutting on the right place. I'm not going to worry about it. And there you go. I've got another one from it. And this one, I'm going to place this one on top of it. There you go. It's nice and always perfect. So these are fantastic for mat and layering. Okay, can you see? I've got one more, so I'm going to do it so that I don't have to worry about doing it again. So I need it to be somewhere from here to here. So what I'm going to do, place my smaller piece. I got a smaller piece, but you know what? It's still going to work. So I'm going to place it there. And I'll check in a minute that it's going to work by placing this one on here, that way. And look, it's going to cut, so I'm fine. I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to say cut. Now all my layers have their mat ready. So they're all being done. Okay, now last thing, I'm going to stop the video. I'll come back to the last step to show you what to do with the template. So welcome back. I'm going to show you what to do with your original piece that we started off with. You know, I said to you, oh, don't throw, this is going to be your template. And that's why we did that dot as well, because then you remember how it was. So I'm going to show you. All you need is a piece of dark or brown card or black card. So you need a piece of card. And you're going to put some glue. Let's make it a bit smaller. I don't need all the length there. So I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to place it, or even here would do, because all I need is a bit to cover the hole in my template. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue around. I told you it's scraps, look. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue there. When the glue decides to come out, I've got a little film of glue on it stuck to the top, so that's why it's not coming out. There it goes. So I'm going to stick this to it. I'll make sure it's aligned, and I stick it there. So that's all I need. Right? So now, that's my stamp that I cut out of it. So now next week, next month, when I decide, you know what, I'd love to use my focused again. I don't have to start drawing it, doing a white one and all the rest like we did today at the beginning of this video, because all I need to do, and I don't know where I've put my stamp. Oh, it's still in here. Let's get it off to make it realistic for you. Right, all I do is find my stamp, get the focus bit for it, place it in Tim Holt's corner where I've marked, and then I bring my stamp. Now if I do this and I close it, I know exactly where I'm stamping. So now when I stamped 4 or 5 colored ones, I use this through my scan and cut. I don't need to go and draw one again. I use this through my scan and cut to get the scan, which already has the offset ready. So all I do is scan this, replace it by my colored ones, and cut. And I'm done. And then I'll do my matte and layering. So that will stop a lot of the process cut out the next time you come to use the same stamp. So for your favorite ones, just make sure you hold them. Look, I'll show you a couple that I've got, that I've made, and they are ready to be used over and over again. So for instance, I've got loads I've done, but I don't know, I've been messing about with these so much. They're so addictive. I just need to see where I'm putting them. Let me find you one to show you before we finish the video. I did a session yesterday. I was teaching people on how to do this, And guess what? Here they are. I was going to say I've placed them somewhere. I can't see them. So for instance, look at this. I did the step out of your comfort zone. They've got the cutting, and I kept my design ready. So next time round, just put it in. Excuse me, put it in and start working. They're all like that. I keep them like that. So when I need some more or a different color, I've got half the job done. So we've got some more. Look at this, how beautiful they turned out. And the nice thing is, because you're not scanning every time, if you used dotted paper, design paper, under your text, I did it on purpose, it's not going to pick up those dots. It's not going to affect your cutting because you're using it on the white cut that we've done. Look, I've got one ready for when I want to use this. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lovely. I would use that again and again. And look, I did it on a background, designed background. It's not gonna affect my scanning. Why? Because I scanned on the white one the first time, and now I've got the template for it. So next time round, I can easily use it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I intend to put it on YouTube, and if you're watching it on YouTube, because usually I put it for my ladies first in their own group where I put all lesson videos. If you watch it, please give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, do ask. I will answer your questions. And there you go. So enjoy, because once you start, I can promise you're not gonna want to stop. Anyway, that's all from me for today. And until the next video, I hope you'll enjoy what I taught you. Thank you. Please give us a thumbs up and follow me on YouTube, because I'm going to be placing a lot more. This is going to be the year where I put a lot more lessons onto my channel. Thank you very much, and till the next time.